cat's out the bag. I shifted, I worked the phones for President Obama back when he was running. And then I shifted maybe a few years ago because traveling to New York, conversations I would have with Democrats was more about me being oppressed and me being a victim. And I would travel to Texas and I go to Nashville and I go to these Republican enclaves. It was more about opportunity, about business, right? About how do we structure, our environment and our mindset to have opportunities to make money and reinvest in our communities. It was more about opportunity as opposed to the conversation I'll have in New York with the Central Park liberals about how I'm oppressed and I'm a victim and I should feel. It was all about feeling. It wasn't about action, right? So that's kind of shifted my mindset. And I'll divulge this. She won't be happy, but I had a lot of people, black females, you know what I'm saying, voted for Republican for the first time in the last election because they didn't like where it was going about telling children who they are, all these liberal policies that don't make any sense from a value standpoint to us. That was one of the key things for me. Like, it just voting for that party didn't really match with my value set, right? Yeah. Spiritually, also economically, I didn't like how during the previous administration, we had a flood of illegal immigrants coming in. I was seeing people in Chicago. I would travel to Chicago.
It's crazy hearing this story because this resonates with me so much because it depicts the kind of person that I used to be. I used to be that person who, the typical black guy who has to be a Democrat. You were told everything on the right is bad, right? Republican, bad. They hate you. They're racist, right? And even now, I wouldn't even, I didn't vote in the last election because I thought both sides were bad. I probably would have voted for Trump either way because I thought his policies were better. They aligned with my values more. But even now, I wouldn't even call myself Republican because, like, the Republican Party is kind of going to shit and I don't really like where it's going right now. But that's besides the point. I could never be a Democrat or left-leaning ever again. Because, like this guy said, everything that they stand for, the values and some of the policies that they pass, trans kids, giving kids the ability to make decisions that their parents are not even involved in, aborting kids. Like, I looked at myself always like, this is the party that advocates for aborting children. Like, when we know that the black community suffers a lot from abortion, like 35% of the black community has been deleted by abortions. And I want to address what he said in the first part as well, like the oppression. Everybody on the left always tells you as a black person, you're oppressed, you're going through this. This is what you're supposed to think. While on the other side, the conservative people, they align more with my values, which is like, yo, like, I have a capitalistic mindset. Like, you have to go out there and get it. Like, nobody's gonna help you. Nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares about what you're going on in your life. Everybody else has their problems. So why would they give a shit about what you're going on in your life? They don't have time for that. As much as they would like to care, they'll give you a word, a sentimental word, a word of courage, but they're not going to solve your problems. You have to go out there and get it. Which is why now I'm more of a conservative and I'm more right leaning. But this video right here depicts why a lot of black people are now not voting Democrat anymore. Kai wanted to be single so he can be gay in peace, right? This is coming from a black woman attacking another black man because, long story short, basically, this streamer, Kai Cenat, him and his girlfriend broke up after, there were allegations that she was cheating. And, he posted online that he's single and he'll never ever be in a relationship again. And he got attacked online. And then obviously the guys responded, this is why black women never fail to project. They be gay as hell, trying to put what they do onto black guys. That's why we date white girls, because y'all are dumb as hell. I mean, so many different angles you can attack this from, because, like, bro, like, I don't know, like, how is him breaking up with a girl gay or being single gay? Like, why is that the first thing that black women go to? Like, I really want to understand why y'all do this. Like, why do black women do this? Every time a guy either dates a white girl, right? A black guy dates a white girl, or, he's, like, in this case, they broke up. Everything is gay. Everything is gay. If you're not doing what they want you to do, if you're not dating within your race, gay. This is incredible. And quite frankly, this is why black men go and they date white women. This is why they go and they date Latinas. This is why they go and they date the Eastern Europeans, right? Or they date Caribbean women who are black but not American black, or African women. This is exactly why, because, like, you can't even do anything or live a peaceful life. The guy said, yo, he just went through a breakup where his girl was literally allegedly cheating on him. There were messages that have been released, right, that she was maybe messing with NBA YoungBoy. But nah. That doesn't matter. He wants to be single and he'll never be in a relationship. Oh, nah, he's gay. The correlation is not there. And this is exactly why guys like, and it's not a myth. Hey, listen, for me, you should go where you're loved. It doesn't really matter. She could be black, purple, green. As long as you find her attractive, right? And you feel loved and you're appreciated there, that's fine. But the fact that they're attacking, or this woman thought it was okay to attack another black man just because he's single and now he's gay after his girl was on some slimy ish, incredible. You can't make this stuff up, man. But hey, what do you know? I guess this is a perfect example of how much of a matriarchy the black community really is.
Here, if you want a picture, that right there. You know what? This is in the Constitution. Thank you so much.
Is it the AK-47s in the Constitution that are military weapons? Which part is in the Constitution?
What part of the Second Amendment don't you understand?
I understand that I have the right to own a gun, and I do, by the way.
Good.
However, I do understand that guns are are killing more kids than even measles, which you have voted, which you have now decided.
Well, you know, last time I looked, it was the school shootings were from transgender weirdos. Right? It wasn't the gun. It was free.
A lie.
Do you know?
Oh no, it is in fact a lie.
It is a lie. And
You truly believe that transgender people are the only people that are killing?
You're the one that likes to tell lies. It was look.
No.
Transgenderism is a mental illness. You need to accept that fact. We need to pass a law to correct the AMA because they're getting it wrong, and those folks should never.
When did we move from guns?
When did you go into this mode where you think that anyone that is different than you is now
Oh
the
no!
bad guy?
Look, if a dude wants to wear a dress, he can wear a dress. He looks stupid, but he can still wear a dress.
Show me this.
Finally, a politician with common sense, right? This is the reason why this guy has been the U.S. representative, right, for Tennessee since 2023. This is the reason why, because there's no, pandering to people's feelings. You're just calling out the facts. And listen, I mean no disrespect to people who are transgender, right? Listen, that's a whole different thing going on. Listen, I think those people deserve the same rights as us. They're humans, right? They're just mentally ill. We have to call it what it is. And it's not to be disrespectful, it's not to be offensive, but it's the truth. How else can you describe a person who is born as a male or born as a female or born as a certain sex or a gender and believes that they're another gender? Like, I mean, it's just a mental illness, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. These people just need the help. They need to get the help that they need. But like I said, they deserve the same rights, the same everything as us, except for probably owning guns, right? But yeah, that's just what it is. And he's 100% correct. If you're a man and you want to wear a dress, you can wear a dress. You have 100% autonomy to wear that dress, but you're gonna look stupid. You're gonna look dumb. But you can wear that dress. It's just that we just need to get back to calling people stupid and people dumb for the things that they do. That's where society needs to head. But we need to bring shaming back. We need to bring, not necessarily bullying back, because bullying is kind of messed up, but we need to hold people accountable and just call things for what it is. No more of this feeling stuff where, we're considering feelings over the facts. You just need to call it for what it is, man.